Money, money, money. Money all over the place. Money, money everywhere. Now, money politics, monetization of elections are some of the popular vocabs in Nigeria now, owing to the manner in which money changes hands before and after elections.
Absolutely. Now, it seems this same tone has been set for the 2019 general election already, or as usual, following the release of the price list for party expression of interest and nomination forms. The two leading political parties, the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party, are at the forefront, setting a trend that could reserve the impending elections to the highest bidders.
Now, while the APC fixed the price for its presidential form at 45 million naira, the PDP pegs its own at 12 million naira. That is a difference of 33 million naira, making that of the APC the most expensive. The APC is selling it for governorship forms 22 million naira, while that of the PDP is going for 6 million naira. For the Senate and the House of Reps, APC's forms are going for 7 million naira and 3.8 million naira respectively, while that of the PDP is selling for 3.5 million and 2.5 million naira respectively.
Well, despite the fact that the nation's electoral umpire, that's INEC now, advised political parties not to exceed a 10 million naira benchmark for their nomination forms, many Nigerians are just wondering, have not been accusing the two political parties, the APC and PDP, of disregarding the Not Too Young to Run law, one, indirectly shutting their doors on young Nigerians aspiring for political positions, as very few of them can afford the amounts for the nomination forms. And of course, when some people are earning about 40,000 naira monthly.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
How about
How do I save
those who even are earning 18,000, which is the minimum wage?
Absolutely.
Because everyone has the right to aspire to be president.
You just shut
so
it down.
it's a technical way of knocking some people out. We still have Dr. Dan Ekere of the University of Lagos with us to talk about this right now. Dr. Ekere, I know that you would have sat down and wondered, what is really going on in my country, Nigeria, when all these nomination forms and all of that. But from your assessment, what do you think is going on?
Politics of exclusion. That is what is going on. You know, they truly do not want, those outside the block to come in. And that is not to say that there are no Nigerians who can afford, such monies. But from their own calculation, they are seeing it as a form of fundraising, which should it be? On a normal day, even the INEC that is directing, I don't know if it has the power to kind of institute any form of action against these people that will set the ceiling. It shouldn't be more than this. But what we are seeing is a violation of that. So I doubt if INEC has any way of dealing with the situation. Essentially, when the party in power has, led in this bogus or humongous nomination fees. So that is a challenge. Then, with this, look at it this way. If I were to pay 45 million naira to obtain nomination form, and campaign expenses is not there.
True.
You are going,
which would cost as close to that or even more than that.
That is not
more
even
than that.
That's just, if you are taking nomination form for 45 million, obviously you are going to spend billions.
Of course.
In the campaign.
So
at the time you finish doing that, who will suffer? Is it you who has spent this money, or the people that you are going to govern eventually? Because they end up taking the money from the coffers of the state treasury. At the end of the day, monies that would have been used for developmental projects will end up in private pockets. These are part
After
of
spending a fortune to get to office.
So it shouldn't be such that people will have to, sell all they have before they can serve their people. I think it is criminal. This is a trend that should be addressed. Otherwise, I'm sure that in the next election, we'll be talking about over 100 million to obtain a nomination form. And it means that you are leaving it to the money bags. Which should it be? In this scenario, if you now find somebody who doesn't have such money coming on board, because it's possible. Now, the arrangement will be that you are going to have godfathers, and you could tell what will happen in such a scenario. Sure. It means that godfathers will plant you there, and they will be ruling indirectly. So we'll have another colonial system where it will seem as if we are the ones ruling. Meanwhile, there is a force behind us that is totally different from our aspiration.
And it seems that this alone, this topic alone, you know, the political parties setting prices of their tickets forms very high. It's like a consecutive factor of what is happening in Nigerian politics, because you just talked about it's leading to godfatherism. You know, you have so many issues of people now going out of their way to borrow money, and then or to steal money,
or even selling properties,
just to obtain forms. And at the end of the day, if they lose,
it's part of the problem, because the cost of contesting election in Nigeria is so enormous, and you wouldn't want to just waste such funds. If for any reason you are opportune to get to office, chances are that you are going to manipulate, you are going to defraud in order to recoup, because it's more or less an investment, the way it is being seen. So it's going to affect. But then that is not to say that this is the reason why they are fraudulent, a lot of politicians. Yeah, that's not just the reason. There are so many of them who have a different perception of what political office is. You know, some of them just feel that it's a place for, you know, crude acquisition, primitive acquisition. You just get there, begin to, you know, take as much as you can. Because as we speak today, Nigeria's democracy is turn-by-turn kind of arrangement, where, it has to be the north. As we speak, there are no formidable forces from the south here contesting for the office of the president. Even PDP, who should have been an opposition, is looking at the north. That tells you that
because of the unofficial zoning formula
that is what I'm telling you. That is a turn-by-turn arrangement. It's also, when it becomes your turn, what you do becomes a different issue entirely. And I think it's affecting the entire system.
We remember even in 2015, the price for nomination form for APC was even still higher than the ruling party at that time. PDP at that time sold its form for 22 million naira for president, and then the APC sold for 27.5 million naira. That was in 2017. Sorry, 2015. But let's even bring it back to, we remember when it was fixed at 55 million. The president came out to say, well, I can't afford the nomination form for my party, which led to some people, interest group here and there, raising monies from what they told Nigerians to pay for. But in this case, if the president himself confessed that he doesn't have what it takes to buy the form, and he didn't do anything to influence the party to say, okay, fine, let us bring it down to a level where people can participate. What does that tell? It
shows that the president doesn't want anybody to participate. That's a simple, you know, deduction you can make from it, because if the man complained at a point, when it was even lesser than this, that he couldn't afford such money, such that people have to rally around, though all were political gimmicks. Now,
okay, I'll get to that. I'll get to that.
That's your opinion anyway.
Senator Shehu Sonny tweeted something like that, that some group of young men that were looking hungry, I can't remember the word, but they said they were looking haggard somehow, approached him and said that, Senator, can we go to the public and announce that we rallied around and then got money for your nomination and interest form as well? And he said, the senator tweeted that he turned them down, that he wouldn't join the fray of people lying to Nigerians to say that.
I'm glad he has always been on the side of the truth. He says it the way it is. He says it the way he sees it. And that is the true situation. Even Erufai coming out to say he doesn't have money and all of that. You see, these are the kind of
the market people market people in Kaduna came out to say, no, you said we bought form, our hands are not there. We didn't buy any form for you. We didn't buy any form. We have to put the record straight.
Honestly. But it's the kind of scenario we have found ourselves. I think Abacha remains a genius politically, because we are already, you know, following the trend. 2 million man march, who the cap fits, and all those jingles and you know, all manner of things that we heard during the Abacha time. These are other manifestations of that. You know, to say we don't have this, you never had money to buy from, yet you were able to spend billions around the country campaigning and all the rest. Those who spend those billions could not. I mean, let's leave all the stories.
All right, we just have to end it here. Thank you very much for your analysis, Dr. Dana Carey of the University of Lagos, lecturer there. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.